Is this Figma's best feature? Let's talk about design systems. Design systems are one of Figma's most powerful features. A design system consists of things like a typographic system, colors, components such as icons, buttons, and so on and so forth. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a design system in just under 10 minutes. So let's begin with the question, what is a design system? And I think one of the best ways to answer that question is to go to Figma community and type in design system. Many of these templates are free to use and you can download them, look at how the internal design system has been constructed. So this is the design system that I've chosen, and look at how this team that has come up with this system has organized it. You have the colors, which are foundational and fundamental to a design system. Then you have typography, and this typography is organized according to scale. And one thing that you should really pay attention to is the unit of measurement. There are two types of units used here. One is the rem and the other is the px or the pixel. And I'll talk about this in more detail, but it's very important for you to understand how units of measurement in CSS vary between absolute and relative units of measurement. And measurement is also very important for spacing, and you can see how they have the scale set up. You have your grids, you have your icons, you have your button. And one thing here that you should pay attention to is how that color system that was originally referred to, and you can see the blues coming through as the primary colors, have been used in the buttons to create the buttons. So you can start seeing how this is a system where different parts of the system refer to other parts of the system. So let me show you what I've done and how I've customized the template that I brought into my Figma system online. And so this is that file. And what I've done is I've duplicated it, renamed it, and I've created a couple of slides to explain the concept of design systems using the components that are available in the file. So let's just talk a little about components. Components are a foundational concept for design systems in Figma. They can be accessed both on the left and the right tool panels, and I'll show you a little bit as to how you can play with that. So if you go into the assets panel, you'll see 360 components available. And let's just bring in some buttons. So I've got this set up, so I can literally just drag icons in. So that's how easy it is. All you have to do is drag in the components, and remember, a component, when it's updated, it cascades through the entire system and updates wherever that component has been used. So that was components. Now let's look at style libraries. So now let's just talk a little about style. So you've seen this kind of chart where you have all of this laid out, the sizes and so on and so forth. But the place where it really is accessible as something that you can use in styles, and styles are located on the right side when they're available to you. And you can see that the two principal type of styles that are available are text styles. So that's broken up into H1, H2, so heading 1, heading 2, subtitle, body, and then color styles and primary 100, 200. This is a very standard way of naming in UX, so you get a full gradation of a color. And what if you want to change something in the style library? There are amazing plugins like Batch Styler that help you change the font or the colors. And once you change that, that will change through the whole system. Now let's go to one of the most powerful things in Figma, which is color tokens or tokenization. Remember, I was talking about in a design system, one part of it that refers to another part of the system. Tokenization, that's aliasing. And aliasing is what allows a token to reference the value of another token. And I think it's important to understand some fundamental principles if you really want to leverage tokenization. And these are how values are accepted. So numbers, strings, boolean, the hexadecimal color system, and you have red, green, and blue that's controlled as a string. Remember, hash 0 is black and hash everything on full F is white. And if talking about systems referring to systems, then the REM, which is about the entire measurement system for text being tied to a font as a foundation. So these are things you really have to understand when you're developing tokens. And then in tokens, they're based on the variable function that's over here. And I had to actually set this up in the system. It wasn't part of the system. And in my primitives, I brought that in by just a plugin. And the plugins that I used were styles to variables, and that just took the entire style system and converted it to the variable. And that's what the primitives are based on. But the other ones, which is the component level, or rather the semantic level, I had to type in myself. And this is where you have the aliasing. I clear the alias, so that's my middle blue, and I would say create alias, and that's my blue 500. So this is where you have a system referring to another system. So what's the advantage of tokenization? There's this diagram on Figma's website's notes that will explain it. So you have a global token, that's this color. Then you got semantic tokens, they're referring to component tokens. And if you change the global token, which is your primitive, you can control the entire system for these components, like borders and so on and so forth. So there you have it, an entire design system in just under 10 minutes. Let me just leave you with a couple of good practices to remember. The first thing is try not to reinvent the wheel. A lot of things are done for you in the Figma community. Use those resources. The other thing is the whole point of a design system is to save time. There's this debate about how much, for example, tokenization at the third level of component tokens is actually a time-saving thing. But cut your cloth according to your needs, see what you need, and don't get stuck into just creating a system for the point of creating a system. Subscribe to LogRocket for more UX design tips and tutorials.